Hello, for our free active web programming and interface, for the beginning, of course, we'll introduce a background and then slightly about what is the internet, and then later I will cover the lab a little bit. That means you need to install and then give you the guideline. Then you can try to set up the environment. So if you have any question, problem, difficulty to set up the environment, then please feel free to send me email or make an appointment that I can help you to fix it. So we always work on the web, then we need to know how exactly the internet works. Okay, so how it make the everything work, then of course we need to know, okay, we do have some set of argued common standard. Let's say we have the TCP IP, and then when the internet is able to connect, then the computer network across the world. So we work by, and then how can we exchange the data and the information? Of course, we need to know understand some basic infrastructure and then how the web, or like how can we, when we sending a request to the server, and then how the server return the information, then how we see the web. We are not only say, okay, let us build everything and then without the understanding how it works. Okay. Then what is when you see always say the www, that means the software like World Wide Web. Then what is this? So it's more like it's a global scale. So it distribute the helping media application, and then with the client server architecture. So in behind all the resources are transferred using, we call the uniform resource identifier. So with the URI, and then we have the hypertext transfer protocol. So we always see was HTTP. Okay. So when you look at what is the HTTP, and nowadays those are website you were able to see is the called HTTPS. Then what's HTTPS? What's the meaning of it? And also when we build the website right nowadays, then also how can we add the S? Is representing the SSL. So how it works. Okay. So for the www clients and the browsers, we need to know that what they are good, support the communication standard or some software system. Just all this we need. Okay. And when also we have some software to trace, let's say if we look at a certain website, then we can trace and then how far away and then the route, so we can see. Okay, so we can have some called trace the package. If you're interested, or when you taking maybe networking course, you know more. And for web programming and interface, we are not focused on how to handle the networking. If you're interested, you can look at it's part of it. We can assist you to do better on the web programming. And for the nature of the internet, we just say mainly for connect and then communication. Then internet is just that internet networks. So with well area networks. So we always call it WAN. And then with the gateways between them. So the gateways is possible if you have another name, sometimes you know it's called router. Okay, so we're like redirecting. So they are based upon some common use of TCP/IP protocol, and also they will support the standard application service. Let's say the DNS. So it's called a domain name server, and then providing email, web. Also, there for internet, we always need to remember we have no central operations. Rooms of global operations manager. So, and then HI internet host, we always have the IP address. And address, or some internet has some domain name, or like here the various companies, or the ANM website, or the SANM. So all these they have it. So we can like using the check, let the look up the IPs to check it, and then we'll ask like who regulate the internet. So basically we have different association or something called the Internet Engineering Task Force, or the Internet Corporation for assigned name and numbers or icons. So this one is for domain name. So all these, or maybe the provider domain name, but just the company, and they need to submit a record to them to make sure, okay, what internet, so society, so all this. Just have a basic understanding. like have some background. So how to say TCP/IP networks are structures? You just need to know. Okay, start from layer when we sending maybe HTTP. We call the application layer. So for that, they will like process to process sending, and then when we need to transport, then we will like encode like go down to like transport layer TCP, and then go down with the internet layer IP. So when we see the TCP/IP, they will come together will be the transport layer and internet layer. And then after this will be a link layer. So it's physically we send it out. So in the middle, we have some gateways. So through the LANs and then the website IPs, and then go to the WAN. So all this go to the client or the server. So that's how it works. Okay. All this like we have some layer like functionalities. So those the application interface directly with the like user application or user. So even for project when we work on it, so the website you see, so this one will be the C is the application, and then for the transport like end to end, they can reliable unreliable. Will depends on the TCP or UDP packet for transmission, and then we have the network IP. So we have the telegram, delivery address, routing, for all this. And then we have the link deliver frames. Also, we can handle some errors or like drive the physical transfers. So through the every bit sending out. We do have different examples of the protocol. So they will be included for the internet layers. For the application, we have the SMTP, IMAP, HTTP. We are working on DNS. You will see, okay. For transport, we do have a TCP, UDP, SCTP. Pretty common, we're using the TCP, and network layer, we handle using IPsec. So this pretty common ICMP. So with different link Ethernet 802.11. I think that we see like pretty common. Or sometimes you see the GPRS. At T2P, there is some encryption. If you see the VPN, sometimes we have to have different link Ethernet protocol like PPP. Okay, so all this. So TCP carries a reliable service. You know the emails, SMTP, IMAP, like web. But for UDP, most of that they provide best effort service. Something like DNS media streaming. So you see RTP, all this. When we need to set up the port, then you will need to design. So which one will be better, TCP or UDP? So what are the difference as what we say? Okay. So which one is more stable, reliable, and which one is unreliable? So you need to know. So over here will be some like basic background about the internet. Then I'll move on. The first thing you need to do for your like prepare. I'm not really force you to using the AWS, but if you never use AWS EC2, so it's a good no. So you can click on the link right here and then go to the AWS EC2. You can create a AWS account, and after you create the account, then so far you can use this one AWS for the free time. So they have limited resources, but it will be 1 year for free. Okay, they do have a limitation, but I think it's like 12 months, like you can use with the limit. And then it's called the EC2. So when you check it, so just remember to get the free one, free Amazon EC2 server. Okay. Once you set up, you can see that on the top right corner, you can choose the server location. You just like choose wherever you feel more like stable and faster, maybe the East, Ohio, or West. Yeah. And then you can choose either one. And mainly you go to the compute EC2, and then you can choose it. Okay. And once you choose EC2, then you can choose like to launch the instance. And when you launch an instance, you can give it a name. So any name, it won't affect me. And for the server, an example, everything I gave you will based on the Ubuntu. So you can choose the image Ubuntu right here. And after you choose that, you can use the default setting. And remember one thing, for the better practice, I would recommend you choose the password using the exist key pair. So for the first time, so you can create a key pair, and what you need to do, create a new one and choose the RSA. So if you will learn like cybersecurity and maybe some networking, it's an asymmetric encryption, and then it will provide better security than just using account name and password. Okay. So here's what you need to do and create the key pair name. So after you create, it will ask you, okay, you need to download the key pair. Okay, so the file name is called a PEM. So just save it to your local file. And after you connect everything, then you can start to with it launch your instance. And next, you can choose the connection, and then you can like try to connect to the instance. And for the connection instance page, you see the AWS give you several methods. Once they're using their instant connect. So when you click on it, it will connect through their web page. So it's a web-based one. I recommend you try to use one is called the SSH client. Okay. Go to SSH client and check it. So it will give you some example. First thing, you need to change the PM way. So this PM is downloaded to your computer. Okay, let's say it depends on, I put it right here, path, that means like any location. If you download to like, let's say documents, desktop or downloads folder, remember to change it. If you're using Apple, okay, Apple, you can easily using the CH mode to change to 400. 400 means it's read only for the user, and then you can, based on what you name, let's say I have called the PM and then and a file. So change the directory. If you don't change it, and then if you connect to the AWS server, they will put a notice so it's not secure enough. Then you should remember you need to change it. If you're a Windows user, then you need to do is like right click the file property and then choose the read only. Okay, so it will be the same way to do it. If you're first time connect to the server, then you can learn. If you know, then it's pretty easy. So we are using SSH to connect to the server. Remember, when you enable in the previous allow it, remember to check like open allow open SSH in case even later you have to when we doing the setting. So is a parameter, so we're setting, and then here will be a directory of your the file. Either you give an absolute path of your file, or you need to using the command line. It's called a CD. Change the directory, then you can go to the, because when you using the SSH client, it just give you the file name. That means that you need to using the command CD to change it, or you can add your path, then you're okay. And by default for Ubuntu, when we install the image, it's called Ubuntu. So it's a user account Ubuntu, okay. And then give it with the DNS and the DNS path. Okay, so you can just use the or IP address, either way is okay. So after you input, it asks like, do you confirm? And then you can first time, so they will need to save your fingerprint. And then after yes, then you are able to connect to a server. Okay, so here's all the steps you need to do create a server. After you're able to create the server, here's one example. You need to do to prepare and set up the web server. Okay, so in the course, we are going to use will be set up the Ubuntu server on the AWS, and also we are using an Nginx for the proxy server, and then we need to set up the firewall, and then using the the fast CGI. So it's a page, so it's a FPM. Right now, I think the latest version will be the 8.2. Okay. And we need to change the configuration. Later in the lab, I will show you the more details how to change the configuration. And also you need to install the MongoDB. So I also give you the link. So how can you access to the MongoDB? Mainly you give you instruction that you need to using the install the GNU-npg curl and then download the MongoDB and then give the user install it. And maybe you need to add to the distribution list, and then add to the source list, and then update one more time, and then install the MongoDB. for parameters, and you can access using the Mongo SH shell to check the database. Okay, and everything start with the beginning. After you start your server, we'll do is that using the sudo apt update and also apt upgrade. And then after you finish the update and upgrade, then we can install the latest version of the Nginx, like stable, the long-term support version on Nginx using apt install, and then with yes. And it will ask you, next one is about the firewall setting, Wednesday for security. So it's pretty quick. They jump through it. For if I'm teaching cybersecurity as an example, I will mention like details about what's a firewall. But for this course, built towards they are not really covered by it. So you have them, and then one thing allow the Nginx full will be supporting the HTTP and HTTPS, and S is stand for SSL. Okay, and then we need to install the PHP, and the latest one we need to change a little bit is called the PHP 8.2. Okay, change this one to 8.2. It just like comes out and start with the beginning. Here's the server board. So server board is under the etc nginx and size available. So far to this step, I'm just telling you what we need to do, but you don't have to, like, as a first step, will commonly if it's the face-to-face in-person class, most of students just start on installing and getting update and setting. Okay, so that's why I'm not covering Nginx. But if you have no idea, don't worry about that. In the next step, I will show you what's the details. Okay, what they are doing, and mainly will be like here's the directory location and then how to retrieve the data, because this one is mainly set up for hosting your website and later your API server. Like to like get the data, and then your MongoDB you need to install on the server. So as a first lab, and what you need to do just like install everything and make it work. Okay, and then in the class, the next like how to build, you can get ready to install it. So we will using the React.js. So let's say for quick start, if we start with a quick start, so you can use the application, the Visual Studio Code, and then we can also download the Node.js, also the one with npx. So here, that's like what we need to do. Right here, I will show you, give you, let's say if you need to start a project, and after you download the engine Node.js, and then we need to install it with the npx. Okay, so as an example right here, the Node.js, you can download. If you are the because if you, let's say if you are the Mac user, you can using the nvm and or just directly fn or docker to install it, it's okay, or you can use the blue to download it, it's okay. Let's say if you are using the nvm, then you can use the nvm to install it with the latest version and with the npm, so they are installed together. But if you are the Windows user, then you can use this method. There's some before, because I know some students, they have some difficulties that they cannot use the FN, then you can try to use other method to install it. Okay, so you can figure out which way works on your computer. Okay, and after you're able to install it, then let me show you. Well, here, this one is the quick cover of your computer. So if you're able to install the Node.js, then you can check the Node version. It shows the Node version and npm version. So once you get the version, then you're all good. Okay. And for the later for the class, I will show you how to do that. Right now I'm trying to connect. If in case you let me shut it down. So in case you have some difficulty, like say, because when you create a AWS EC2 account, maybe they ask you to input the credit card information if you don't have it, but you need to set up the environment. You're okay to using your own laptop to set up as a server for communication, or you can use create VM because we don't have that much time to show you for the install VM. So if you do have it, you can try to install VM, download the Ubuntu image, and then you can install it, create it, and then you can access it. You can set up, so you can like simulate how to connect to the server, and then setting post, and then create a Ubuntu server. Okay. So I right now just like quickly cover all the possible environment and the prerequisite, like how you have to install to start our project. And later I will like go through one by one how to set up and give you the time to do it. And if you have any problem to set up and then work on this, then feel free to contact me. So far will be that's it for our class.